Hello again, everyone. This is the review for our trading on Friday, August the 12th. We execute our trades using NinjaTrader, and this is NinjaTrader's account performance log and report for the day, showing 7 trades actually, but what that represents is 7 total contracts. I had 1 long trade for the day in which I executed 2 contracts. When I trade, I prefer to, if I want to get long 2 contracts, I prefer to click the mouse twice. I run each contract independent. That's just the way I'm used to doing it. So this actually represents 1 trade on the long side, and then this number of 5 contracts represents 2 short trades in which I executed 2 contracts each, and then I added a third one on for a trade, giving me total of 5 contracts on the short side. And I'll detail the reason for that once I go through the chart. So, but for the day, the total net profit for the day was a little over $1,000. If we apply $5 for each trade on 7 contracts for $35, the net for the day is right at $990, and that's trading a maximum of 2 contracts for each trade. So let's go through the chart and I'll show you what I mean. I begin each day at 5 a.m., which is represented by this yellow line here, right at 5 a.m. As we started the day, we were breaking to the upside with a higher high than this higher high, coupled with this higher low. So I was looking to get long in this area, but I really wanted to see this thing pull back into this area where I have established support for myself at basically 1.42. We didn't quite get back that far. The market was pretty strong in that direction, and it took to the upside from there. I did get long, however, here, which is what I showed you on the previous screen, and we took profits up to this resistance area. When I begin each day and throughout the trading day, I always have levels plotted to the screen where I expect to find resistance and support. So if we just shrink this down on a vertical basis, you will see all the areas that I expect to find resistance and support. And I trade off of them throughout the trading day. So I established a long position in this area, went up to resistance. I executed my exit. Now, I did make an attempt here to get short, which I got stopped out. This little bar extended up and it got me, and it stopped me out. You know, oftentimes after the market, people will email me questions, and one of them was, well, does that ever get easier? You've been trading for 20 some odd years. Do the losses when you get stopped out like that, does it get easier? Is there hope? The answer is no. It's kind of like getting stung by a bee. It hurts every time, and it never gets any easier. But it is a part of trading, and it is a part of the risk, the high degree of risk that's associated with the market. So you bite your lip, and I continue. And so this is where I'm representing where I got stopped out. So decided to watch in here and look for another entry. I did not want to take anything up on the long side, as I had this ceiling in place. And when we got up into this area, I was looking for this to hold and an opportunity to get short. During the course of the day, I was looking to get short in this area, and I was hoping to find some kind of a reversal bar in here in which would enable me to get short and run this market down to the support that I had at 1.42. So let's take a little closer look into this area, and I can show you what I was looking at during the day and what I was talking about in the room in terms of what I was planning. So if I look at the shorter term time frame, this area in this shadow area in red is this area right here. We're just taking a little closer look at it on the basis of the 220 tick. I always like to trade off the 5-minute. It's a little larger footprint, and what I'm looking from the 5-minute is the opportunity for the swing moves, and the 5-minute helps me identify those little larger formations. But I use the shorter term time frame to really try to pinpoint my entries and limit my risk. So here I am I'm working in here and I'm looking for some reason which I can justify getting short, and I really don't have it. I'm making progressively higher highs here and higher lows, so I really couldn't see anything, and unless and until this little trend was violated to the downside, I was looking for this area, expecting it to hold. This little lime green horizontal line represents basically this area here, sort of a drop dead zone, whereas if this got blown out to the upside, my reasoning and my interest for getting short would no longer be valid and something that I would be interested in. But we did not. And so once these lows were violated by this move down, that's when I started looking for a point in which I could justify getting short for the move coming down. This is what I was expecting to find on the screen. It's what I wanted to put myself in a position to do. And this trade here represents where I did get short. Very limited risk on 2 contracts. I took the first contract off with a little bit of profit, and I held on to the second. We were served very well to stay in this, and once I get this in place, once I get this first contract off, I can bring the stop down, manage the risk on it. But what I'm looking to do is participate in the move to the downside. Like I was showing you before, I have all these areas in place, but I had nothing in here that would justify me taking an exit. I had nothing in here but daylight to 142. So wanted to stay short in here, which I did. And once we got down and around this area here, we had a strong thrust to the downside, strong momentum to the downside. I wanted to add to my position and getting short. This short on this arrow is represented by this short on this area. Very limited risk, and I go into the details of that when we're in the trading room. But for the purpose of this discussion and a summary, I was served very well to get short in here and ride this thing down. Now, when we got down to taking profits, and in fact, this was a very tense area for me because I actually lost my internet connection. And there's the value of having your stop in place and your target order in place, because for most of this move, I was blind as a bat. Verizon has been working in the area, and I was out. So, but I was able to get reconnected in here, and I did filled at 42 and 12, which is an indication of that this thing was really starting to bounce around in this area as we were approaching this support.